Hello, everybody. This is the Blackbird's Feather here, and well, I just wanted to talk about something. It's been with me for quite a while now, and I just wanted to talk about it because I think it's something that is not really very well understood. And equally, it's something that I think a lot of people actually go through more than is perceived in life. A lot of people suffer from what's going on, and unfortunately, it's happening to me. And basically, I just wanted to just sort of have a chat, really, and discuss this issue and how it's kind of ruining my life, which is, I think it's probably a slight over exaggeration, but at the same time, to me, it isn't because it really is messing with me. Um, and well, what we're here to talk about is costochondritis. So I've been suffering with the condition for, well, actually, I've been suffering from it for about 10 years, but for the best part of 9 years, it's not really been a problem. I've not needed to take medication for it. It's sort of been there every now and again, but in general, otherwise, I've been quite free from it and it's been quite good. Unfortunately, in the last 6 months, um, it's kind of given me hell, and well, I don't really know where I'm going now because I don't know how long I'm going to have it for. I don't know how long I'm going to have to deal with this, and equally, I don't know how long it's going to continue to mess with me. So. Apologies if the audio is a bit weird. As you can see, I'm not at home. Shout out to anyone and slap a like on the video if you recognise the background and if you know where I might be. But anyway, so costochondritis, for those of you who perhaps don't know what it is, it's a condition that is essentially the inflammation of the rib muscles across the chest. So it's the rib muscles across the chest. So it's not your heart, it's not your rib cage or your lungs or anything like that. It's the muscles that go across the cartilage across the chest. Now, different people are affected in different ways by the condition. My particular condition is all of the rib muscles that basically run across my left-hand side. So it'd be the right-hand side from where you're looking, which is the muscles that run directly across the rib cage in front of my heart. And essentially, the essential idea of what happens is those muscles on the rib cage get inflamed, and well, it hurts. It hurts a lot. It is said that the pain mimics a heart attack, but it is not a heart attack, and your heart is fine. It is the muscles that run across the cartilage and not your heart, which is why, certainly in my case, and for a lot of people who have costochondritis, they don't actually know they have it at first because all of the symptoms as described, are symptoms that are very commonly mistaken as heart attack symptoms. But the issue comes about where you go into hospital, you have all the tests, so you have an ECG scan, ECG done, you have chest X-rays and all sorts like that. They do blood tests, and you're clear. They tell you you're fine. And in my case, they told me that I had a virus to start with, and so I left it at that. And then obviously I then ended up going back into hospital again because I had pain. And well, unfortunately, it was eventually after a number of years, it was finally diagnosed as to what I had. And now 9 years after that diagnosis, it's now all come back up again, and I'm suffering quite a lot. So that's the general gist of what I'm currently going through at the moment. It has other effects as well, that sort of side effects of the issue. So the inflammation in the ribs makes breathing quite hard. So sometimes I get out of breath, sometimes breathing hurts, and especially when a flare-up occurs, I tend to be in quite a lot of difficulty breathing, which a lot of people mistake for sort of hyperactivity, or when you're panicking and stuff like that. But it's not. It's because I'm physically struggling to breathe. So naturally, once diagnosed, there are different sort of programs that people can go on. There's different things that people can try when you've got this condition. For some people, things like medication work quite well. For other people, it doesn't. Other people have got other funny knacks of easing the pain, which is very, very interesting. And if anyone has got any interest, if anybody's suffering from this condition and has any interesting ways of dealing with the pain, then please let me know. For me, I've been prescribed a simple program of naproxen, which is a strong anti-inflammatory. Basically, you could consider it powerful ibuprofen. and so I'm on that. The downside for that is one of the biggest side effects of naproxen is issues with your stomach lining. And in my case, I've been prescribed the omeprazole that goes alongside naproxen to try and provide like gastro resistance. But unfortunately, they're not working so well. So my stomach is in a lot of pain as well as my chest now. So that's just fantastic. It's brilliant. But the naproxen is working to a certain degree to inhibit the pain in my chest. But unfortunately, it's now causing me stomach problems, which is lovely. So it's ruining my life in more ways than one. Simple things that I would normally be able to do, I can't exactly do. I'm not saying I'm disabled, but and I certainly believe that there are people out there who are going through a lot worse things, for sure. But simple things like just walking to the end of the road, I get out of breath. I suddenly get into pain. And so I can't walk very far. I've been told I can't drive very far either, which is slightly annoying. But there's other things like, so I can't drink tea or coffee because caffeine it can induce inflammation. Can't have pork, which is, oh, I love pork sausages, but I can't have pork. Also, I can't drink either. I can't have alcohol. I can't have energy drinks. Not that I like energy drinks, but I can't have alcohol. So yeah, it's proving interesting. I certainly think the booze side of things, cutting out booze, is supposedly quite good for me. But I miss tea. I actually miss tea more than anything else. I miss drinking tea. So that's obviously something, but there's other more widespread issues really in that it's not just my life that it's affecting; it's also everyone else around me. So Katie, for example, is amazing. She's been so good, and she is very understanding of what's going on with me. But the issue is that some of the things that we love doing, we can't do at the moment, or we're too scared to do, rather. So it can be from simple things like going out for a dinner. Because if I get on the bus to go out, and I suddenly have a flare up or a problem, then it's quite embarrassing. It's quite difficult to deal with. Equally, if I'm in a restaurant, and we've got loads of food, and all of a sudden I can't eat half of it, and it's a waste of money. But also we're scared to do things like traveling. I ruined an entire weekend for Katie. It was a big conference that she was attending for her business. She runs her own business. And it was a big conference that she got invited to. I got invited as well, and it was all sounding pretty good. And halfway through the conference, I ruined everything because I had a massive flare up. And basically, we spent almost it was a 3-day event. We spent 1 day of it on the road going to the conference. We spent half of 1 day at the conference. I spent the rest of the time in bed in the hotel, because I couldn't go anywhere. I was too scared to go anywhere. But equally, I was in so much pain that I didn't want to go anywhere. So I ruined the entire weekend, and so that's that sort of thing. And so we're kind of scared to go anywhere now, especially at the moment whilst I'm on the strong part of the medication program that I'm on. That's supposed to sort of come off of it slowly as you go down. But whilst I'm on the heavy dosage, if you will, we're saying no, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to ruin anything else for her. Other stuff. I mean, people's situations are all different, and people suffer in different ways. People's tolerance to pain is different, but also people's general way of life can be different as well. So I consider myself extremely lucky in that there's 3 major things in my life. It's my other half, it's my parents, and it's my career. And I'm lucky enough that all 3 of them are like, they're with me, but also they're being really, really helpful. So Katie is supporting me at home. I've got the best parents in the world. They've been supporting me throughout the whole thing. They live a couple of miles away from me as well, so it's like we're so close that it's fantastic, and they've been really, really supportive. But also in terms of obviously financial and being able to live, my employer has been very understanding as well, and actually they have made specific arrangements for me to actually so that I can keep working, and that is just amazing. And I'd like to believe that actually there aren't that many employers that would do that, and I suppose that can be part of the issue really, is that making sort of special arrangements, altering the way that people work is quite difficult for a lot of people. But my employer has made significant steps to try and keep me in work, basically, and that's amazing for me because it means I can keep paying my bills. It means I'm not falling behind on anything. I don't owe anybody anything in terms of like debt or anything. It's been really really good. So touch wood that carries on, but naturally it's taken its toll because obviously there's things I can't do anymore, and well, I don't know. I mean, my colleagues are great, but equally, it's sort of I feel bad for not being able to help them in the day-to-day work that we're supposed to do. So equally, there's also a moral side of it from me, saying, well, actually, you guys are doing all of this, whereas I'm sort of kind of sat on my arse, and it's not. I don't feel okay with that, and they say it's fine, but I don't feel okay with that. So there's that, and so as a result, it's a big bloody challenge now. To every day is a challenge. The worst time when flare-ups actually happen and where I actually feel in the most pain, really annoyingly, is when I lie down ready for bed to go to sleep. Because when you lie down on your back, your ribs obviously drop down and they push into the rest of your body, and that's when it hurts. So sleeping is a problem, and that naturally then affects everything else, like your ability to drive, your ability to work, your ability to meet deadlines and stuff like that. So that is a big problem now as well, is actually sleeping, especially with my stomach now, because I keep waking up. Whenever I do get to sleep, I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel like shit. So it's not fun, and it's horrible. But I think the thing is that there are, as I said earlier, there's a lot of people that actually probably do have this issue or have had this issue and not known about it. And equally, there are people out there who have suffered from it in different ways. So some people have it for a couple of weeks, some people have it for a couple of months, and there's people that have lived with it for 35, 40 years. And good Lord, I really hope that that's not me. But the point I'm trying to make is that it affects different people in different ways. And where it's not very well studied and not very well understood, I think it's therefore underrated as a condition. Not trying to big it up or anything like that. Not trying to make it sound like it's worse than it is. But someone who's broken their leg, for example. Okay, yes, they've broken their leg. It's awful. It's absolutely terrible. But it's understood. There's a clear pathway to fixing it, and eventually it does get better. And you can set time frames with it. So depending on how someone's dealing with the issue and how much rest they're getting or not, you can set a time frame for when their leg's going to get better. Whereas my doctor at the moment turns around to me and says, well, to be honest, I don't even know if you're ever going to get better. Ah, well, that's fantastic, isn't it? That's exactly what everyone wants to hear. So yeah, I'm not trying to big it up. I'm not trying to make it into a bigger deal than it is. I'm not trying to create competition with anything else that anyone is finding difficult in life. But what I'm trying to say is that this is what's happening to me at the moment. I hate it. It is wrecking my plans. It is destroying things that things that I want to do. I can't go, walking. I can't play sports. I used to love playing football, but I can't play football anymore. And in general, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where actually I should be trying to push towards a peak where now is where my career could potentially take off big time. I want to work hard. I'm at a stage where I've been in my relationship with Katie for a long, long time now, and we're making plans. We're making plans for the future, and well, all the time that we're making these plans, and all the time that I'm thinking about progressing in my career, and all the time I'm thinking about all these things, it's niggling in the back of my mind of, well, what if this condition gets in the way? And that's not how I want to live, and I'm not going to live like that, most definitely not. But the point is that obviously, no matter what you are, I'm going to think about it, and it's just going to be forever there. So it's not fun. It's been a challenging time, and the positive. I think the positive things really is that if there's any positives to come out, really, is that I actually appreciate a lot of the things that I can still do. a lot more. I appreciate the foods I can still eat a lot more. So I've actually gone on quite a fish heavy diet at the moment with lots of fruits and potassium based fruit. Although I've been told like maybe stay away from bananas because sometimes the naproxen can lead to quite high levels of potassium in your bloodstream. So if I eat bananas, then I'll have loads of potassium running through my system, which is interesting. But yeah, it's just annoying. It's annoying, but yeah, the big message really is it's not life threatening, so I know I'm going to be okay. I know that there's still things I can do. I know I can still contribute. I can still live my life, but equally, I'm not alone, and there are lots of other people out there. Well, not just in terms of obviously the support network that I've got in my personal life, but equally there are other people out there who are suffering with the same condition. It's not unique. It's not. Funnily enough, it's not rare. It's actually quite common. It's just not very well understood and not very studied. And doctors, because there's no cure as such, sometimes it just goes away, and some people it sticks with them for the rest of their life. Doctors don't know what to do, and so they sort of, in my case, they prescribed naproxen and omeprazole to me, and they sort of see how it goes. Let's hope this works because they don't actually know. Um, so I'm lucky enough that actually I'm quite a down to earth person. So when they say that to me, I'm like, okay, you know what? We're just going to give it a go, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll try something else. But you bet your ass I'm going to give it a go because I want to get better. And I trust in what I'm being told. I trust in what I'm being prescribed, and I trust in myself that something is going to work for me. So yeah, the big message, yeah, it's not life threatening. So you're going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. But also, yeah, not alone. Both in terms of my support network, but also there are other people out there who have this issue. And equally, I know people in my own life, but equally, you see it every day. There are people who have a lot worse problems. There are people who have bigger issues. There are people who suffer in different ways and in worse ways. So I'm not saying I take comfort from that, but the point is, like, it's bad, but it could be worse. And that's kind of the mentality I've got towards it at the moment. It could just be a hell of a lot worse. So, but anyway, I just sort of just wanted to share this with whoever the heck watches this, and just wanted to put it out there that it's something that's going on with me, but equally it is a thing. And if you've never heard of it before, then maybe hopefully I've perhaps enlightened you with this condition. If you're interested, there's plenty of articles on it. It's just it's not very well understood as to what causes it. It's not very well known as to how it can be treated properly, and equally, there's no exact cure that they can just give everyone that would just get rid of it. That isn't a thing. So the reading is interesting. The reading material is out there. If anyone's doing any studies or anything like that, let me know. I'd be interested to understand more if someone's actually looking into it. And equally, if you're suffering and you've got it as well, then talk to me in the comment section. I'll chat, and we'll go through this together, sort of thing. But anyway, that's what's going on with me. So thanks if you have watched this nearly 20-minute video. If you have listened, then thanks ever so much. But otherwise, just look after yourselves and appreciate what you have and appreciate the things you can do, because one day something's going to hit you in the face and you're not going to be able to do it again. So yeah, just appreciate what you got. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Thanks, and all the best.